So, was that the gal you went out with the other night?
We are ready to go.
So we're live on air at the moment.
We're live
on air at the moment.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
No problem.
On Facebook.
Facebook Live.
Hello, Facebook. How y'all?
Yeah, that thing may count right down to the minute there.
Tell me when.
Before it actually shows.
1:15.
Tell me when, Tex.
12, 1:10.
Yeah, minute 7. But then I don't know if he's gonna.
Yeah, we got a minute up there.
Yeah, it's a minute right there.
I'm nervous.
Why would you be nervous?
I don't know. I'll come up with something.
Gosh.
I had some really good iced tea at lunch. 30 seconds.
37.
You good?
Yeah.
Wish I had a chair to sit in.
Oh, dude, take it.
Play
Mine
it.
says 30 seconds.
Relax.
All right.
Way too
Now
uptight.
it says 30
Is
seconds.
your phone silent?
I had to get mine's off.
Is your phone's off?
All right. You guys are good.
This is
Well, we
20
got-
seconds.
We got like 20 seconds, right?
20 seconds.
I'll count down from 10. How's that?
All right.
Well, the important thing is that it shows up there. If it shows up there, then we're
9, 8,
We're
4, 2, 0.
Welcome all.
Well, it said 0. Now we're live.
That's why I was telling you. Let's wait until it shows up there. Okay. Sorry.
Ready?
Yeah, ready.
Welcome all to the Floors to Go Texas show. I'm your host, Willie Lambright, along with Theril Williams, 40 plus years in the business. How you doing, Theril?
Very well, Willie. Thank you.
Nice to have you this Saturday night. You know, Theril, today, or tonight, we're going to be talking specifically about stone and some of the do's and don'ts and attributes of that. I want to remind our listener, when you go out to 5212 Airport Freeway in Haltom City at Floors to Go, and you say a room without a rug is like a kiss without a hug, they're going to give you a free 8x12,
8 by 10.
8x10, my bad, wool rug. Did I say that right, Theril?
You did.
Yeah.
It's an 80-ounce rug. It's hand carved on the border.
So this show is all about information. You know, you can go to the box stores, and by the way, don't do that because Floors to Go has 8 times the inventory that any box stores does. But here's the thing. The one thing that sets them apart from anybody out there is Theril has 40 years in the business and really can tell you the do's and don'ts. And I'm talking about color coordinating. I'm talking about having the installers doing it right so you don't have to do it twice. And he's absolutely your beck and call. You reach him at 817-710-7030. I want to tell him about the 60-day guarantee, Theril, and then we'll start on the stone. We're being rude, though. We are being absolutely rude right now.
That's
I want to
okay.
say hello to Dana.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah.
Hello, Willie.
And you're looking very pretty this Saturday night.
Thank you.
You're not going to the honky tonk afterwards, are you?
We'll see.
We'll see. Okay, there you go. Talk about the 60-day guarantee real quick, Theril.
Well, real quickly, in a nutshell, the 60-day guarantee, because we are a Floors to Go member store, independently owned, we have a very large buying group that we're members of. This very large buying group gives us advantages that other regular flooring dealers do not have.
Nice.
One of which is this 60-day guarantee. And what that guarantee says in a nutshell is that anything in the store that has the Floors to Go label on it is guaranteed your satisfaction. If you don't like it, we'll change it out. Technically, that includes wood or tile or carpet, and if they'll pay the labor on the wood, they'll pay the labor on the ceramic tile, which is kind of crazy, but we haven't had to do a single one of those because technically the 60-day guarantee is there to satisfy people's understanding that we're not going to be selling them something they don't want. We don't put pressure on people to make a decision that night. You know, my question to the audience is you should raise a question. If somebody comes into your home and makes you buy in one night, if they say it's this price tonight and it's another price when I leave, you're probably dealing with the wrong company.
Yeah, red flag.
And we don't deal that way. So we give this guarantee to let people know that we want them to be happy and satisfied, because you know we want to sell them their next floor. We want to sell their friends
children's
and
floor.
their children's, whatever. We want referrals, and you can't do that if you don't do a good job and if people aren't satisfied. So basically, it's a satisfaction guarantee, so that people don't have to worry about or second guess, did I pick the right thing? We're gonna help you make sure that you get the right thing.
Yeah, if we do our job right, it's put down once and it's what they want.
That's
You
right.
shouldn't have to redo it.
That's correct, because what do we do a lot of?
We ask a lot of questions.
Yeah.
Well, you know, Theril, I'm not going to beat a dead horse here, but as you get older in life, you realize it's about your decision. And when a smart businessman will give education and knowledge to their clients, to where the client makes an educated decision, that's why you're separated from the big box stores. That's why I consider you the best flooring company in the Dallas Metroplex. Reach out to them directly at 817-710-7030, 817-710-7030. Put that in your speed dial. Or if you want to email using technology, radio@floorstogotexas.com. Now, Theril, stone types. We got to start with stone types. That's what we're talking about tonight.
Right. We want to talk about things that go in your home and things that are traditional and things that are non-traditional, but at the same time, we want to bring up the subject of stone flooring. There are a lot of stones still being sold today inside and outside the house. And one of the things that I want to point out is that stone can be what we call a timeless look. Timeless meaning not for a specific period of time.
Always in style.
It's always in style. It's never really out in fashion today and out of fashion tomorrow. Because, as we were discussing before the show, some of the oldest floors in the world, the Greeks and the Romans were putting down stone floors.
Well,
And
Brother
some of them
Tex
still
over
do
here
today.
asked me what kind of flooring you think they put in the pyramids, Willie. I said stone. So, you know, it's like it's good till Jesus comes.
It'll last a very long time.
Yeah.
And with that being said, I mean, houses can have stone in certain areas of the house to accent them and whatever, but we wanted to talk about some of the different stones, because
Okay.
sometimes people select stones that might not be for all areas, and we just kind of wanted to go over a few basic things about stone. A lot of people are buying ceramic tile and porcelain tile, and those are all beautiful and well, but we sort of focused in on stone because a lot of people don't know what all is out there and available. So, for example, one of the first stones we picked would be granite. And granite has also been around for a very long time.
And it's a hard stone.
Yeah, it's a very hard stone. And it's quarried both here in the States and it's quarried from around the world.
Well, I got to back you up.
Uh-huh.
Quarried meaning what?
Well, they mine it. They dig it out of the earth.
Okay.
They dig it out of the earth.
They cut it out of the mountains.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's some very large. Texas has some big pink limestone, if you will, down south and west in Texas. That's kind of a famous look.
Austin stone.
I've seen it. I've seen it. Yeah.
Yeah, Austin stone is a different type of stone, but we're talking granite here, and I've actually been up in Vermont and seen one of the largest. I think that's probably one of the largest granite quarries in the world. They have miles and miles of. As a matter of fact, one of the quarries up there is called the Rock of Ages.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I'll have to look that one up.
Rock of Ages.
They have a beautiful a beautiful gray looking charcoal stone up there, but you get different colors from all around the world. And like for example, there's several colors of black. I mean, you have something called absolute black, and you have a little more pure black from different parts of the earth. You have something called a galaxy black. Galaxy black has little flecks of looks almost like copper in it.
It does, and you have a black pearl also.
And you have something called black pearl, and it's
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Then you get into all the different colors that you go on. They're mining for slabs for countertops, and that's another subject. But at the same time, it looks the granite is very beautiful and very timeless looking, and you can put a polish on it. You can polish the surface, and it holds its surface through a lot of wear. Because you can put this tile, put it on the floor, you can walk on it. Obviously, we're doing a lot of countertops out of it today, and have been for a while. You can also do a semi-polished look, where it's a little bit of both between a honed look, and actually, if you go to a lot of commercial places, you'll see something called a flame or textured. They literally run this tile through a method where they actually flame the very top layer of the granite, and it pops and chips off and makes a very textured finish, so that you can put it outdoors in a big stone, in a large commercial building
And
or on the sidewalk.
wouldn't be slick that way.
And it's not slippery or slick because it's not polished. And it's very tight, very dense, and so it doesn't absorb a lot of water even in that state. So you get some different looks out of the stone just by, polishing it and finishing it differently.
So granite, all the different types of granite. Granite countertop's it's gonna be there longer than a house in many cases. Heck, it'll even survive a fire, right?
Well, if the fire's not directly on it, it could survive all the smoke.
Anyway,
and a lot of heat before it actually does into it.
Talk to me about travertine. You can't do that right now. I want to thank all of our Facebook guys. I want to thank all of our YouTube folks, and we're got to go to break. You're listening to the Floors to Go Texas show. And by the way, you can go to floorstogotexas.com and check out this great company. Theril and Dana are going to come back here in this next segment and tell you a little bit more about the different types of stones. Then we're going to tell you about the different finishes of stone. And by the end of this show, you'll know all about it, something that you will not get at a big box store. I encourage you to call Floors to Go in Haltom City, 817-710-7030, 817-710-7030. We'll be back in just a skosh, and we're going to continue talking about stone. We'll be back in a willy skosh.
While we're on break, speaking of stone, another one of my favorite stories from you is querying out the rocks, which is what we were talking about before. You make those little cuts, and you don't want to dynamite the stone out. You put wood in there, and then you wet that wood, which makes the wood expand and break the stone. Another tie-in to why water on your wood floor is not a good idea.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I still remember this from a kid, and actually, there are a lot of slabs. If you go to a slab yard for granite today, you'll see these little circular cuts and this granite. They're all around the edges. But when I was a kid, we went to up here in Colorado, near Gunnison, Colorado, where I think there's an old abandoned mine up there where they supposedly mined the large slab of marble for the tomb of the unknown soldier up there. They actually have pictures on it. It was so big, it's so big, it's huge. It was almost half the size of a locomotive. Anyway, we went up there and we noticed that all these blocks and chunks of marble had these circular holes around the edges, and we said, what the heck is that? Well, they would drill in there with their steel diamond tools, sharpened tools, and then they would leave these holes that were bored out, I don't know, maybe an inch across, and they would drive wooden pegs in these holes and fill them up, and they would literally pour water in there, and they would let the wood swell up, and it would literally burst the marble and break the marble block out. That's how they mined it.
Interesting.
Years and years ago.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you're going to take a cube out of there, I mean, you've got a whole rock face like this. I mean, you can cut this little circle, but how do you get behind there and make this cut? You put those little wood nails in there and make it break off.
Interesting.
Yeah, it is very
I did
interesting.
not know that.
Yeah. No, they still do some of that today, but at the same time, they actually have a lot of, now that, carbide, you've heard carbide tip saw blades, they actually have carbide tip cables, just like a steel cable, and that cable has a big loop on it. And I don't know exactly how they do this process because I haven't actually
Can we
been
go
there.
somewhere and look at it?
Let's go to Italy.
I got a PK day.
Let's go to Italy. Yeah. I know you and Alice y'all are ready to go tomorrow to watch it be made.
Well, Tess, we got any Facebook questions?
No questions.
Okay. You're listening to the Floors to Go Texas show. By the way, stay with us, all of you Facebookers and your YouTubers, and learn something here about making your home a better asset for you, your family, and the neighborhood. We're about to go back live on the radio, and so Theril, are you ready?
I'm ready.
We got 8 folks on so far.
Oh,
Three.
good.
Well, we do want to say hello to Natalie. That she's our most loyal follower.
Natalie, what's shaking bacon?
You can type it in and say thanks.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to the Floors to Go Texas show. I just want to remind you one more time, you're leaving a lot of money on the table if you don't go over to 5212 Airport Freeway in Haltom City as a homeowner and march in there and kind of have some fun with it. But you need to say to Dana or Theril, a room without a rug is like a kiss without a hug, and they're going to give you an 8x10 rug. It's a nice piece of flooring, and it's absolutely free. 817-710-7030. Now, talk to me about travertine, limestone, marble, onyx, slate, all those.
Okay, we'll run down the list real quick. Let's just say the travertine and limestone are sort of cousin rocks.
Cousins.
I'm sure the geologists would probably not appreciate me saying
I think
that.
the limestone's a little bit soft.
But technically the travertine's softer than the limestone. The limestone's a little harder because travertine has a little more holes in it. They both have some holes in it, but the limestone will hold a little bit of a polish, semi-polished, but neither one of them will actually hold a full polish like granite. And so travertine has been a product that's been soft enough to mine out and cut out, and they fill it because you can buy it either honed and filled or just honed. And we've all seen a lot of tumbled travertine 4x4s and 6x6s that we've seen on backsplashes and things through the last several years.
Okay, we need to explain honed and finished though, because some people might not understand that.
Okay. You talk.
Well, it's exactly like it says. It's the holes and divots are backfilled with a composite of the travertine, and what else did they put in there, Theril?
Well, it's a lot of the stone dust that they mill out of the quarry, and they put a little Portland type bonding agent in there to get it to fill and stay in the hole, so that you don't have a holey floor, if you will, something that's going to be pitted, and it gives you more of a smooth surface.
Gotcha.
And that factory honed and filling usually is pretty permanent. I mean, it's really hard to get it out of there.
Well, we have had people say the high heels will make a dent in it.
There we go with the high heels. Well, high heels are sort of an interesting product in themselves. Can damage a lot of floors. But anyway, for the most part, I mean, the backfilling, the honed and filling of the travertine and the limestone is a pretty good process that's done at the factory. But those stones, we've seen them a lot intermixed, even with even some granite. But you see the mortar mixed a lot of times with wood, with accents of wood, like to create a lattice work of laying 4 tiles together and surrounding it by 3 or 4 inch wood to make a very nice looking pattern.
A wood plank.
A wood plank.
Okay.
Yeah, we've done things like that before, but you have to remember that on travertine and limestone, because they are soft, they're going to require some sealing, either an enhanced sealer that brings out the richness of the color, or just a penetrating sealer that doesn't change the color, but it seals it from cleaning agents. It seals it from spills like coffee, or
It's a lot more.
Wine,
It's a lot more
Kool-Aid.
fragile than granite.
much more fragile than granite.
Well,
Yes.
granite needs to be sealed also, though. I mean,
Granite needs to be sealed, but the travertine and the limestone needs to be resealed on a fairly regular basis, because it is so much softer. Usually, for example, you can get an 18 by 18 piece of granite, and it's going to be about the same thickness as it would be as a 12 by 12. But an 18 by 18 travertine or limestone is going to be much thicker, because it is softer, like you said, Willie.
Mm-hmm.
It's softer, and it needs to be handled differently.
I'll tell you how I learned my lesson real quick. I made friends with somebody when I first started getting in the flipping business, and they said, "We got a piece of limestone over here you can just have," right? So I drive over to pick it up. I thought, well, we just lay that in the back of the truck. We'll be okay.
Ooh.
how'd that work out?
It was in 3 pieces when I got to the job.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I tell you, I found working with you, Theril, and I'm going to get off track here.
Okay.
But when you're stacking tile, flooring products, countertops, anything, it needs to be on its side.
Yeah, it needs to be in a vertical position.
Stronger on its side.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
Well,
just my
no,
2 cents.
No, that's fine, and because stone is fragile, a lot of times when we deal, not so much granite, but when you get in travertine, limestone, marble, onyx, and even slate, you can have fissures. Fissures are little bitty tiny cracks in the stone, which are natural occurrences, but they can, you can sometimes pick up a piece of tile and it can actually break in your hands. And so we generally, when we're doing, let's say we're doing a marble shower or travertine shower, we'll order, a percentage extra above beyond what we would normally
Always
do.
10%.
That's a good number, so that you can have some to be able to look at. Now travertine, sometimes we're actually recommending a few more, only because travertine, the price on travertine, for example, can vary. You can get some really cheap travertine or some really high quality travertine. Well, the only way you know the difference is the cheaper travertine has,
You're gonna call more of them,
you're going to call more out, but the cheaper travertine has a lot more of the honed and fill spots.
and you can see them. Sometimes they get as big as your thumb. I mean, you can see them.
Yeah, it's kind of like, this is maybe not being the best way to describe it, but on the radio, I'm going to use this word. The really ugly travertine looks like it's got the chicken pox. Okay,
That's a good one.
it's got a lot of blemishes on it. And it might even have a few colors that you don't want. And so we tell people, let's order some extra, and the homeowner can literally help us call the ones out they don't like. I'm sorry, they're just in the batch. We don't, nobody else looks at them. They don't get called for anything. And so that way you can, when you stick them up on the wall or put them on the floor, then you have all the pieces in there that you like.
Makes sense.
And I know, because
You did. I started to say,
I know.
Theril and Alice went in their beautiful bathroom, and we have box in the back of coals. And now the coals you can make your cuts from, different things. But if you don't like the look, you do need to coal them.
What's the difference between marble? Any cousins in marble?
Well, the marble and the onyx are similar, but actually marble is much harder. Marble, you can do a polish on it. It's more of a semi-hard stone. It's not as hard as granite, but you can put a polish on it, and it looks beautiful polished.
And it's slick too, 'cause
And
I have in my bathroom.
It
It's
is
slick.
beautiful.
It is slick, but it is beautiful.
It is beautiful.
And there's a lot of Carrera and Cream of Marfils and Infidora Dark and Infidora Light colors. The chocolate colors and light creamy colors. They're absolutely beautiful. The onyx though stone is pretty, but it's a softer stone as well. You'll see a lot of onyx that's backlit. You can do special features like bar fronts, or you'll even see some on bar front tops or desk, and they'll backlight the stone because it's very translucent. So that's something that's a little usual. I mean, marble is translucent, but not like onyx. Onyx is really pretty like that. and then of course you have the stone. You have a slate, and these are the popular ones. Now there are many other stones, but these are the popular ones that we sell today.
Let me
Slate- slates-
let me just go through this real
Sure.
quick. We talked a little bit about granite. We talked about travertine, limestone, marble, onyx, and slate. And that's the top most popular ones there are. Right. Well, that's good
And people
information.
are afraid to put travertine in their showers, and it's really fine in there. You just have to keep it sealed.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
I have travertine in my shower. We sealed it. Excuse me, and we've had it in there probably about 8 years, and I don't see the problem with it at all.
Yeah, yeah. Remember, this is the Floors to Go show. You want to get your free 8x10 rug. Drive down this Monday, Tuesday, whatever the case. Ask for Dana or Theril, and you say to them, a room without a rug is like a kiss without a hug, and they're going to give you a free 8x10 rug. What I really want you to do is go in and see their fantastic showroom. They've got 10 times what these box stores have. They have lots of good information for you and your family. 817-710-7030, 817-710-7030. Or if you want to email Theril, radio@floorstogotexas.com. They're located over at 5212 Airport Freeway in Haltom City. I got to go to break. When we come back, we're going to be telling you about the types of finishes for stone on these all 5. Remember, we talked about granite, travertine, limestone, marble, onyx, and slate. We'll tell you some about some of these finishes that we have from a guy that's been in the business for over 40 years. 817-710-7030. We'll be back in a Willie Scotia.
Okay, we have a question online, Tad.
Okay.
Let me get back to it here. If I buy my floors from another store, will you install it?
Oh, that opens a can of worms.
Yeah. Technically, the answer is no, and here's the reason why. There are a lot of different floors, and the problem is we didn't measure it. We can run short.
We're gonna have too much.
We can have having too much is not necessarily a problem, but the problems that can occur is I don't know where they bought them, and if there's a problem with the floor itself, and believe me, you can have a problem with any floor. You can have a problem with any first quality floor coming out of the box. And what happens when you have a problem with the floor coming out of the box? Well, with me and my company, we'll take care of it, and we'll get the problem resolved immediately. Now, if the homeowner, it's up to the homeowner. I mean, we're at a standstill. There's something wrong here. We can't proceed. There's something wrong with this product. So the homeowner is down their time. My installers are sitting around with their thumb in their ear, and we're probably going to leave the job site and not be able to come back until the homeowner can resolve it. The homeowner's pretty well in the flooring business when they decide to buy their floor somewhere else and bring it to us for install.
Yeah.
It's never worked out in a very quality, smooth manner because they will mismeasure and usually be short and or there's something wrong with the product. Or I will get blamed for installing their product incorrectly on a product that I may not be familiar with, and it's a very easy out. Trust me, I got in that trap before. Somebody said we didn't install their product correctly. It was a 3/4 inch nailed down pre-finished floor on the second floor. We do it all the time. We nailed it down, we put it down, and when the floor started flexing, the finish started popping off of the floor, and they tried to tell us that we installed the floor
installed it incorrectly.
And it's not right. And so we're just not going to get in that. We're not going to go down that road.
Well, we got to thank you because that question comes up a lot in that homeowners area.
Yeah.
In that homeowners association in Keller.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Well, it's just logical sense when you go through it all the time. I know it doesn't make sense to the homeowner at first because they think they can go down to a bargain store and get a really good bargain.
Yeah.
The problem is the bargain store is not always the cheapest price. Yes, it is. It might be the cheapest price up front.
It is for sticker shock.
But in the long run, it could cost you more money because of the problems it could create.
And you know, Theril, I think that's what this show is all about, is for the homeowner and the consumer to understand the long run. And it's not always, you know, roses up front.
You got another question, Ted?
Yes, a follow up.
Okay.
So why do you guarantee your work?
Well, my first question would be, why wouldn't I?
Or
My rebut to that, you want the whole list
you
of the
know,
top
just
10.
really kind of more. I think
Yeah.
it's really talking more about you guarantee your work because, and that's why you don't really want to pick up somebody else's second stuff.
Exactly.
I think that's the heart of the question.
If go
Well,
ahead.
a 60-day
Well,
guarantee.
and the manufacturers we work with, they back us up. If it's their product, they're going to fix it. So you have to have a relationship with your manufacturers and know what
I
you're
agree.
putting down.
And your manufacturers have specific ways to install these products, and if you don't do something just right, they will turn down the claim. So that we make sure that when we buy, whatever supplier we buy from, you know, the short answer is we read the directions. And we do it exactly the way, by the book, the way the manufacturer recommends, so that we don't have a problem. I don't want anybody to spend $5,000 and $10,000 and $15,000 with us and them have a problem.
Yeah.
I don't want that.
You know, what I would say to our Facebook questionnaire is that Floors to Go in Haltom City with Theril Williams at the top has the highest standards in the flooring business. And that's what we do on this program is we educate homeowners so you don't have to come back and do it a couple of years down the line. I'll give you an example, Theril. You've taught me that when installing floors, wood floors, you have to have a 100-pound roller.
Yeah.
There's one of the read the instructions variables, right?
Yeah.
So, all right.
Absolutely.
I'm glad. I'm glad we answered that question that way. So, they should come buy their floors from you, right?
Absolutely.
Or at least come talk to us. We can.
By the way, there's at the end of the show, they'll beat or meet any box store's prices. Why wouldn't you go talk to Theril? Correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. Anything else, Tex? All right. So, are we ready to go back on the air?
What segment are we in?
I don't know.
Well, we just told them we were going to go. We're going to 3, but you told them at the last segment we were going to talk about these finishes real quick.
Yeah.
We've already talked about a lot of them.
Even though we need to keep up with the theme of what you just told them.
Mm-hmm.
Remember?
Mhm.
We don't spend much time on it.
No, and be sure they really need to be careful of the products they put down on it. That's
Yes.
a huge
Yes.
issue.
Y'all ready?
Ready?
3, 2, 1. Welcome back to the Floors to Go Texas show hour each Saturday night here from 7 to 8 o'clock on the great 570 KLIF. And make sure you go by 5212 Airport Freeway in Haltom City. Talk to Dana, talk to Theril. Walk up there and say a room without a rug is like a kiss without a hug. They're going to give you an 8x10 rug. Now, Theril,
Yes.
we're going to tell them about the types of finishes on stone. I know we've done that already. We'll get done with that. We're going to go into carpet fiber types. But talk about finished stone.
Well, the important thing is that you get the right finish. You select the right stone, and then some stones have optional finishes to them, if you will. Some have polished finishes that give you a nice high sheen that will almost reflect the light, almost look like a mirror. That is, they'll reflect your overhead lighting sometimes. And then some stones are just honed, because not all stones are hard enough to receive that polish, like we discussed earlier. You can polish a granite, and you can even hone a granite, but on a travertine and limestone, you can't polish them because they're so soft. So they traditionally are just honed finish, and honed just means kind of a smooth finish with no reflective qualities to it at
But
all.
that's that classic look.
That is a classic look. Yeah, it's a very classic look. Yeah, you really, the travertine limestone, when it comes to a home look much better than a granite, because a honed granite just doesn't look. A honed granite looks like it needs to be polished. So you can't achieve the same looks, and the colors of the stones are way different. But just like in marble can be both honed or polished. But if it's polished, you're going to need to take care of it and have it polished, repolished or resurfaced, if you will, about every 5 years. If it's in your entryway and it's a main entry hall in. I have one in my house, and it's a marble, a very highly polished marble, and it does take about every 5 years it needs to be resurfaced. It's just part of the territory that goes with that type of stone. So just kind of know. But we at Floors to Go are going to teach you these things, because somebody may say, hey, I don't want all that maintenance. I go, okay, we have something else for you, and let us show you that, because we can find you porcelain tiles that mimic these looks.
And they look really,
really
good.
nice. Tex was saying at the break, actually we have a lot of these resilient vinyl floorings today that come in planks and squares that can even look like stone. Now they won't be as polished look, they'll have more of a home look to them.
Yeah.
But even they would be less money per square foot, better for a budget, still tough, and the installation price is less because you're not mixing mud up and doing grout and so forth. So we have a lot of options for people to do in that area. And then, like you said, we've got some that are this semi-polished finish, and you can have even these textured finishes on stone to give you some rough finish if you're putting something outdoors, like we talked earlier in the segment about. A lot of people don't know that granite, you can put granite outdoors and it can have this flamed look, which is a rough texture, but it's not slippery when wet. And they really, it's sort of bumpy, but yet still smooth because of the way they treat it.
Got a little traction on it.
Got a little traction to it.
But some like the travertine, the tumbled, so it has that look, and they want that look to it. They want the holes in it.
Yeah, and there are a lot of new stones that are. Manufacturers are starting to make what they call 2 and 3 cm stone blocks to go outside around the pool, instead of just pouring something like we used to call a cool deck. Well, they still call it cool deck, but they want more of a stone look, and they're beginning to make stone in these 2 and 3 cm blocks that are.
And for walkways also.
Yeah, and 18 by 18s and 24 by 24
That makes
big
sense.
large
They're
blocks.
They're nice.
Where you can just put down sand and put these right on top of the sand and butt the joints up real close. So there's a lot of nice looks in stone.
Do you feel like we've covered stone pretty much, polish?
Yes, sir.
And what is that, the 6 or 5 most popular ones, right?
Yes.
All right, let's talk about a little bit about carpet and the fiber types.
Okay, for example, when it comes to carpet fiber types, there are some basic ones. There's wool and nylon, polyester, and those are some of the bigger volume products. For example, wool. I put down wool here because wool has been around for a very long time, and with wool, you don't think about it, but it's a natural, renewable source if you don't kill the sheep. You can take the sheep to the butcher once, but if you're careful, you can shear him every year, and you can have clothes, and you can make carpet, and that sort of thing. And really, what people don't know is that wool is one of the few products. When we pull a carpet out of a house that's 40 and 50 years old, it's always wool. I just can't tell. I can't tell you how many people have been at our store before, and they go, it really wasn't worn out. We've just been in there a long time. We were tired of it.
Yeah, and people are. I'm allergic to wool sweaters and things, but the wool carpet doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
Well, the nice thing about wool, a lot of people don't realize this, is that wool is actually a kind of a modern air conditioner. It actually conditions the air and it absorbs water. The fiber itself will pull moisture right out of the air. So if you have a wool fiber in Texas in the summertime, what are our regular air conditionings trying to do? They're trying to pull water right out of the air.
Yep.
That's exactly what they do. They get this condensation. Well, wool carpet does exactly the same thing. It pulls moisture out and holds it until it's time to release it.
Yep.
So it's really pretty fascinating. And it's the only fiber that's allowed on airplanes.
See, I didn't know that.
Federal aviation.
For fire reasons.
For fire reasons, yes,
Yeah.
because it doesn't support combustion. If it does burn, not if it does burn, when it burns under extreme condition, it does not put any off gases.
And
So
a lot
the-
of times that's what kills people.
That's what kills people is the VOCs, volatile off gassing of chemicals.
I want to put a little pause button here real quick, and I want to thank our 80 plus people on Facebook. And friend, if you're out there right now and you want to learn about floors and how to correctly install in your home, tell a friend to go to facebook.com/floors2go-texas. This is where you come for information. We got over 80 people. Have some of your friends and family join so that we can spread the knowledge about what this great company is doing. 817-710-7030. Carry on, Theril. Floripedia.
Well, to continue with the wool, because it is restricted on airplanes to only wool, it's safer in the event of a fire. But if you think about it being in your house, if it's in your house and there is a fire, it doesn't give off any volatile off-gassing of chemicals. And it's very soft underfoot. As a matter of fact, nylon has been trying to copy the softness of wool ever since they invented nylon back in the 40s. And the wool, because it does pull moisture out of the air, I mean, heck, my daughter was pointing this out the other day. She made these little dryer balls, about the size of tennis balls, and she puts them in her dryer. I said, why do you do that? Because I wasn't thinking. She says, Dad, the wool, natural wool, pulls moisture right out of the dryer and makes the dryer work more efficiently. And she'll throw 4 or 5 of these things in there.
Mhm.
She says it actually keeps the sheets from getting twisted.
Yep.
I went, what? And so,
I just learned that as well, Theril.
I mean, I was really surprised. I was surprised that I wasn't surprised because it's like, duh, I kind of knew that, but it's like, oh, geez, I didn't know you could actually put the wool in the dryer and
Yeah,
help it dry.
makes
Yeah,
stuff.
but your daughter's a knitting specialist, and
Yes, she
she's
is.
super smart.
She is. So she teaches me some things from time to time. So the wool is a very good high quality fiber, and if you want a luxurious product, wool is the way to go. And we have the best selection in the Dallas-Fort Worth area in wool products in our store.
And the soil and dirt stays on the top. So technically it's easier to vacuum and remove it.
Exactly. Wool has something in it called lanolin, and it's a natural chemical that's in wool. It's not found anywhere else, and that does help keep the soil right up there on the top, so the vacuum cleaner can lift it off.
God made sheep for a reason, didn't he?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Hey guys, I got to go to break. I want to also thank our listener this Saturday night. This is the Floors to Go Texas show. A room without a rug is like a kiss without a hug. I want you to get that in your mind and go out to 5212 Airport Freeway in Haltom City and go see Dana or Theril. You're going to get your free 8x10 wool rug.
Absolutely.
Free. Theril, no telling, it's $500 or $600 rug. I don't know why you wouldn't do that. 817-710-7030. Theril, when we come back, as we come to the top of the hour, what are we going to talk about, friend?
We're going to talk about the other fibers in carpet. We're going to talk about nylon and the new Pet Protect nylon that's great for pet owners in their homes, something that hasn't been available for many, many years.
You don't want to miss this. Stick around. We'll be back in a Willie Scotia. That was my best thing that I've ever done, dude.
I can do anything you want.
Just for
I impressed myself.
How do you-
I'm like a showman.
whatever you got to tell yourself, Willie.
I mean, I flowed. Ooh, if you had seen when I first got in radio 10 years ago,
He's a little stuttering, a little bit.
It's like a baby coming out of the womb, all flapping.
And remember, we are on the air, folks. We are on the air.
Well, I want to say thank you again to the 80 plus people that we have here, and
Oh, yeah, I wish they would log in so we could say hi to them.
If anyone wants to type in some questions to us, we would love to answer them on air, and be happy to answer them on air, because I know a lot of people have common questions sometimes that we do go over and over, but it's okay, because if you have a question, chances are somebody else has the exact same question.
Absolutely.
And that is the best way to answer a question, and there's no dumb questions.
There's no wrong question.
No.
Now, are we in segment 4? Is that what we're
Yes.
going into? Wow.
Flying by, huh?
It sure is.
Any questions, Tex?
None right now.
None right now. Okay. I need to restart this. I cannot wait to do this segment.
I wish I knew who was out there so I could.
What's the name of
Talk
your
to
dog
him.
again? Winston?
Yeah, that's.
My
Winston.
beloved Winston.
Okay.
He is.
Love it.
It's not a dog. I cover his ears when he hears that word. He is a human, a four-legged human.
He's a hefty human.
You ought to see him now. He's got his fighting weight down.
Oh, is he? He's been on a diet?
I'll just show you something real quick here, because I
At
can.
first, he was rolling.
Well, you know, people, it happens. So I put him underneath that cross.
Yeah.
We said a few words for him, and then I sent him away for the weekend to camp.
You couldn't lose all that in a week.
No, we put him on a diet. We got a new diet, but I'm going to show you. He got back from camp last night.
This is doggy camp?
Yeah, he was telling me all about his weekend at the camp last night. It was a great. You wouldn't believe some of the stories he was telling me. We had dinner, and he agreed with everything I said. It's amazing.
Well, in this next segment, we'll try not to talk about the doggy carpet. I mean, we'll talk about the doggy carpet. Excuse
The
me.
3 Ps.
The 3 Ps that all pets do. And
Tex, you clear on your end?
I'm doing good over here.
Dana?
It's wonderful.
Theril?
we're good.
Talking is what we're talking about, huh?
Yeah. Are we ready to start? Maybe.
All right. I got you.
I don't have a stopwatch over here, so I can't answer
Okay.
that exactly. But you are giving us a lot of time. I appreciate that.
3, 2, 1. Welcome back to the Floors to Go Texas show. Friend, I just want to remind you, a room without a rug is like a kiss without a hug. Why do I tell you that? Go out to 5212 Airport Freeway in Haltom City and make sure you get your free 8x10 rug, wool rug.
Yes, sir.
And carpeting has evolved. Theril and a lot of folks go get carpet. And to me, what I've learned from you is the life of the carpet comes in 2 facets. A, on how you install it, and B, on how you take care of it and vacuum it, whatever, how many people are in your home, right? Take it from there.
Right. And let me add a third one. And these are not necessarily in order, but the quality of the fiber you select. Okay.
Well, it's a big one.
It's a big one, and it's a real big one. That's why we're talking about these qualities of fibers. A lot of people are. I use the iPhone or our new device phones that all of us have, whether it's one brand or another brand. We're all familiar with technology and how fast the technology changes. And for the most part, a lot of us, just to try to keep up, we try to stay up on, how do you share this? How do you share that? How do you take this photo? How do you turn it into a movie? Whatever. Well, flooring has changed, maybe not at that speed, but with the and different inventions of technologies being incorporated into the flooring business, we have a lot of technological improvements. One of them is this new Pet Protect, which has been invented by Invista, which was formerly DuPont. DuPont sold to Invista, but they've invented this fiber that they specifically call Pet Protect, and it's for 70% of the homeowners out there in America who own pets,
Mhm.
whether cats or dogs or some potbelly pig or whatever they're,
Belly pigs, parrots.
yeah, whatever they let run around on their carpet and do the 3 Ps that all pets do to your carpet, whether you think you've got little angel Fido.
Some kids are kind of little animals too. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
So the good news is that it's guaranteed for those things that pets would try to do when they puke on the floor or.
I got it.
Well, you got it. Okay.
Use your
move on to that.
imagination.
Use your imagination, audience. And so that's the very interesting thing about this technology is that this is a one tough piece of carpet.
Okay, why does the hair stay on top? What is in the carpet?
Well, on the Stainmaster product, okay, let's separate this. There's different types of nylon. First of all, there's a type 6 and there's a type 6.6. The type 6.6 nylon is without going to science class, it's a double-stranded carbon fiber, and carbon is extra strong because in today's world they make a lot of things out of carbon fiber today. I mean, their hood parts on cars and motorcycle helmets have a carbon fiber running in them, and these fibers are extra strong and flexible. And what they're doing is they actually have on the Pet Protect. Here's a really neat thing about the Pet Protect. Because they have a negative ionic charge. Let me say that again. The fiber has a negative ionic charge to where it will not attract pet hair. Pet hair, have you ever tried to clean it off your pants or something? Sometimes you brush it, you can't get off. So you go get one of those sticky things, right? It's because
Or duct tape and a wad.
it has a static, or whatever. It has static electricity to it. They have figured out what that charge is, and they have charged the fiber with the opposite charge, and it won't cling to the fiber, and it lays there on top.
Are you sure they charge it with the opposite? Because opposites attract. Do you mean that they charge it with the same one to repel?
Thank you for the correction.
Just fine.
Thank you for
You're
the
welcome.
correction.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Tex,
there.
I was thinking the exact same thing.
Tex was paying attention in class, and I said that wrong. You're exactly right. They do use the same type charge, so that it doesn't attract, but it repels, and it won't cling to the fiber like it will on your pants. And so it's there for the vacuum cleaner to come across and lift off in the first pass, which is pretty unique actually. And because of that, your fiber, you're going to have less fiber, less dander in your carpet. Where a lot of people say, oh, it's going to hold and collect pet hair and dander. Yeah, it will if you don't get a Pet Protect. If you buy something else.
Well, we have a lot of likes on the dog comments. So now that we're talking about carpet, can we transition back to some stone? And can dogs handle the stone, or can pets handle these different types of stone you were talking about earlier?
I was thinking some of it would just naturally, deflect. But then I guess some of that stone, when you're talking about limestone, maybe it will absorb in there. I don't know if they'll.
Well,
that's why you seal it.
That's why you seal it.
Okay.
Any stone, that's why you need a sealer, a good penetrating sealer, or a penetrating sealer will not change the color of the stone. If you get an enhancing sealer, it brings out the richness of the color. It still serves the same purpose. That if it gets wine or urine or something like that, it won't stain the fiber
Yeah, but
of the
some
stone.
old dogs have issues getting up on
Slick
stone.
floors.
It's slick.
Yeah.
That does affect them.
Yeah. We know a family that's got a very old dog right now, and they have a very slick floor, and they're having a difficult time standing up. So the older pets need something. So that's why if this carpet is a really good answer for those people who still want carpet. Carpet is still square foot wise less money, if you will.
Or we also make beautiful area rugs. So if somebody needs
Y'all do.
hallways done or down their center of their kitchen, we can make any size, shape, color to help that pet that can't get up and down on the tile. We can do that.
Right.
And we want to be sure to say hello to Rachel for joining in. Rachel, we're glad to have you.
So back onto the nylon fiber. The nylon fiber is still the strongest man-made fiber that is on the market today. The other fiber is a type 6, which is not as strong a nylon. It's an ANSO product, still a good quality product. It is a little more recycle friendly in the recycle world than the type 6 is, because the type 6.6 requires a little more extra step to break it down because it is so strong. But nylon, if you think about nylon, nylon is the only fiber they use to climb for ropes, for climbing rope, for climbing a mountain. They don't go by.
Parachutes? Don't they have to do it for parachutes?
Parachute strings are nylon.
Wow.
All the wiring harness or the harness that people wear are nylon. Your seat belts are made out of nylon.
Do they use them on zip lines too?
Yes. Yes, you were wearing a nylon harness when you did your zip line. And so, and these new products can be solution dyed, which means the color goes all the way through the fiber, which is more like commercial carpets have been made for a number of years. They've just improved the technology with coloration. And
solution dyed, that means the color goes all the way through.
That's correct. It goes all the way through.
No room for anything to stain it.
That's correct. The other types of dye methods are Kuster dye and Beck dye, which are Kuster dye is much more popular today because it's much more faster to dye something. They can make carpet a lot faster. But then you have the other products that are out there on the market sold a lot, which is called polyester or PET polyester. It's very popular because it's cheap and it's not as expensive as nylon. Nylon's going to cost you probably 30% more than the polyester. You get more fluff in your hand with the polyester, but I don't necessarily, in our store, there's certain areas and certain times I recommend the polyester, but if it's a long term and it's a high traffic area, we don't normally recommend that, but for the bedrooms, it could be very suitable for a house you're about to flip.
I got to tell you, I'm coming to the top of the hour, Theril, but all of our Facebookers, all of our listeners tonight, here's what you can do. You can simply email Theril directly at radio@floorstogotexas.com. Again, radio@floorstogotexas.com. Email him any questions you may have had about tonight's show. A room without a rug is like a kiss without a hug. Get your free wool rug, 8x10, about $600 value. When you say that, over at 5212 Airport Freeway in Haltom City, 817-710-7030, 817-710-7030. I want to thank all of our listeners that joined us, all of our Facebookers. I'm going to close this hour out by saying this. If you've been to the big box stores and you've done some shopping for flooring, think about what I'm about to tell you. Friends, Floors to Go has over twice the space and 10 times the choices. And remember this, they will beat any big box stores. You know the big box stores. One starts with an L, the other one starts with an HD, right? They'll beat any box store's prices any day. Go see my friends at Floors to Go, floorstogotexas.com, 817-710-7030, 817-710-7030. That's a wrap. We're out. We'll see you next Saturday night, same time, same place.